So after this representation of image vector, we'll go for the position vector. So position vector, so this diagram, in order to understand this diagram, we need to understand the Cartesian coordinate geometry system. That is, only x and y coordinates we have studied before. Only x and y. Like suppose if I tell this is x and this is y, like this. But when it comes to three-dimension system, there are three things which I need to look into. Correct? That is, this is x, y, and z. Take it like this, because in your textbook they have given it in some different way. Also, it doesn't matter. You can take any convenient systems for you like this, but it will be usually all three are mutually perpendicular to each other. X coordinate, y coordinate, and z coordinate, all mutually perpendicular to each other, and they are originating at a certain point. This is the O point. So this is how this diagram will look like. This is the originating point, and this is the x-axis. This is my y-axis, and this is my z-axis. Okay. So in this, O is the originating point. O is the origin point whose coordinate is x's value is 0, y value is 0, and z value is 0. Okay. So origin is a point where all the coordinates are 0, 0, and 0. So now let me assume a P point anywhere. Suppose if it is like this, P point is somewhere else on three-dimension system. It is not on the board. Here you can see that it's drawn as though it is on the board, but it is somewhere outside the board, something like this. Okay. So when it is outside the board, there are three coordinates you need to measure, understand. One is x coordinate, y coordinate, and the z coordinate, which is having a certain distance from the origin, above the x-axis, and also in front of the y-axis. That means the x, y, z coordinates are present for that point P. So this x, y, z coordinates I will point and mark the point P. Okay. And this is a point. Imagine there is a point here like this, randomly on 3 dimensions. An imaginary line joining from that point P to the origin. An imaginary line joining from the point P to the origin is nothing but the position vector. Okay, that's it. So here, imaginary point is P. Sorry, the point is P. The imaginary line joining is OP, and this is called as my position vector. I can name it anything. Here they have named it as R vector. So R vector is denoted as a position vector, and it is a position vector of point P. Okay. So the meaning of position vector is nothing but an imaginary line joining from a point on a 3-dimensional space to the origin. That line which indicates a vector is called as a position vector. Okay. So that's it. A vector joining a point on a coordinate system from the origin to the given point is nothing but a position vector. Okay. So this is what I'm talking about, is position vector, representation of vector. The basic idea is done. So the next topic you need to understand is about the direction cosines. So direction cosines, the cosines we already know. It is clear enough that it is a cos function, cosine function. So now to understand why it is named as direction cosines, because the same continuation it is. It is the continuation of position vector. In that, I can see that the position vector P, so the point P is going and joining into a point O and forming a position vector R. So same here. This is the point P here, like this, somewhere randomly, and this is the line which is OP or R vector or position vector. This will be joined like this, and I need to understand with what angle each one of the systems, the coordinate lines, are inclined to this position vector, and that will be defined with the help of my direction cosines. With what angle, what are the inclination of this position vector with respect to x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis? That is nothing but my direction cosines. Now, to be more clear, so imagine this line OP. OP somewhere outside this one like this. Okay, outside like this it is there. And whatever angle it is inclined to x-axis, I'll name it as alpha. Whatever angle it is inclined to x-axis, I'll name it as alpha. Whatever angle it is inclined with respect to y-axis, I'll name it as beta. And whatever angle it is inclined with respect to z-axis, which cannot be shown in the board, which is not possible to show. But what I'll do is, I'll show it as a 3 lines. You can see that 1 denotes alpha, 2 denotes beta, and the third one denotes gamma. Okay. This is positions with the angular positions with respect to x-axis, y-axis, and then z-axis. Now, for the direction cosines, the cos of alpha cos of beta and cos of gamma are nothing but the direction cosines. And these direction cosines also are called as L, M and N respectively. Cos alpha is L, cos beta is M and cos gamma is N. So with this, I can find a value for cos alpha as well. You can see I'll drop a perpendicular down from P, okay, and it is nothing but adjacent by hypotenuse. Cos alpha is adjacent by hypotenuse, that is x by, adjacent by hypotenuse is this x by r. Well, this r is a vector, correct? No, but I need the distance of r, which is nothing but magnitude of r. So that OP, the magnitude of OP or magnitude of r is nothing but my distance OP, so which means the length of hypotenuse according to the figure. You can see over here, x is the length, x is because this is the coordinate when I am dropping it perpendicularly down, this will be x value, and when I am perpendicularly dropping this will be y value, and this part, like wherever I have imagined this to drop on the x-axis, this distance is called as z. That distance will be z. Okay. So with that imaginary triangles, that is, you should imagine that triangles as a coordinate system. The trigonometric system, and using that, cos alpha I can name it as x by r, and cos beta I can name it as y by r, adjacent by hypotenuse. And the next triangle I'll take is the z triangle, which is outside the board. So that triangle when I take, it becomes z by. Okay. So these are the things in order to find out my direction cosine. So what you need to know in order to find out direction cosines is the coordinates x, y, z. That will be given in the question, and the position vector will be given. With the help of vector, I will find out what is the magnitude, and then I will divide the coordinates by the magnitude of the given vector, and that time I get the direction cosines of the given. Okay, we'll come across the problems that will be very clear. And one relation you need to understand regarding direction cosines is L square plus M square plus N square is equal to 1. This is the formula. Just remember as it is. This I will derive it later once we are done with the other topics coming further. After that I can derive this. Okay. So this is till the direction cosines. Please rewind the video once again and check this and understand it clearly, because this comes the basics of this vectors, and after that you will understand the types of vectors and we can move on with the problems very easily. So these basics are very important to understand.